Hi guys, welcome to the vlog. Today we're going to do kind of an update on a vlog that we did a long time ago.
It's been like 2 years and
Almost
we've had
2 years,
a lot of changes. We've adopted more kids, we have a ton more subscribers. So today we thought we would do why did we change our kids' names when we adopted them.
Darling, smile today, let me see your lights. Brighten up the room like candlelight. Home is in your arms, home is in our hearts. Home is wherever you are with me. With you I'm home, praising it all. With you I'm home, praising it all. With you I'm home.
We are so excited today to go through these names.
Before we start though, we wanted to kind of
Give you a
explain the process
background,
a little bit.
Yeah, of like why would we change their names?
Yeah.
So we actually don't have the choice. We do, but we don't.
Yeah.
So when they're like little, then of course we can help them think of their names, but we really wanted them to come up with their own names, and their attorney or their lawyer is what gives them the option if they would like to change their names. So
In one of their meetings where we're not even there, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, do you want to change your name? What do you want it to be?
yeah.
So,
So some changed, some didn't. We're really happy with the names that they chose
yes, so happy.
For
So
sure.
let's go ahead and get started
though.
though.
Let's get started.
All right, we're starting with these 4 girls for a very specific reason, but first let's just introduce them a little bit. So,
I'm Elizabeth. I'm Lacey.
I'm Destiny.
I'm Cynthia.
all right, so first, Lizzy, I guess the reason.
The reason is because they didn't change their names. They
Yeah.
all chose to keep their names. And
Or if
so
they did change it, it was really
it was
minor.
just a minor, like a middle name. So, okay, let's start with Lizzy.
I didn't change my name because everybody calls me Lizzy anyway. Nobody calls me Elizabeth unless I'm in trouble.
That's true. If she's in trouble, I'm like, Elizabeth!
And so I just kept my name the same that I had it before.
Okay.
And I kept my name because we were still in contact with, well, and we still are, with my biological grandma, and I felt that it would be weird if they called me Lacey and then I changed my name to something else. It'd be just too confusing, so
Yeah.
that's why I didn't.
For
But
sure.
I did change the spelling of my middle name.
Only the spelling though.
Yeah.
My middle name is Nicole, and it was spelled N-I-C-H-O-L-E, and we just took out the H.
Yeah. There's so many different ways to spell Nicole, but we like the N-I-C-O-L-E, so.
I didn't change my name because I liked my name, and also I didn't know when I first wrote it out it had tiny at the end.
So it's
Destiny, which is T-I-N-Y, and for those of you who know, I am tiny, so I'm like
She's
really
so
short.
small.
Everybody
So
calls her
we just call
tiny.
her Tiny,
Yeah, they
yeah.
call her Tiny, so.
So that's like my nickname.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is your nickname. Tiny is your nickname.
I kept my first name because I liked it actually, but I changed my middle name. It was Moni and now it's Joyce. I'm named after my grandma.
After
now.
my mom.
Yeah,
So-
we did change her middle name.
She has the same middle name as my mom. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so these are the 4 that didn't. We also have like Cody didn't change his, and Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan did not change his. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, thanks girls.
Okay, bye.
This is Trey, and we actually got him out of the hospital like 2 days old.
Yeah, we've had him actually for a while.
Long time.
Long time. So him and his sister were our last adoptions, and his name used to be Hunter. And we love the name Hunter. That's really cute, but we decided to name him Trey, and we did keep Hunter as his middle name.
Yes.
Do you like your name, Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah. We call him Little T.
Little T. T!
Okay, so this is Brinley. She is Trey's biological sister, and her name before was Karma, which Karma we really
That's a
feel
cool
is a
name.
beautiful name, and we had every intention of keeping it. But she came to us and said, hey, you know, and we hadn't even like filled out adoption paperwork or
No, this
anything.
was
Like
way
it was
before.
really early on. And she said, you know how when everyone gets adopted, they get to change their name? And I said, yeah. And she's like, I've decided that I want to be Brinley.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. This
that
was like
it.
a long time before her adoption.
It was. So
Why did you pick it?
It's because my friend at school, her name was Brinley, and I liked it.
She stole her friend's name.
She stole her friend's name. It's a beautiful name, and
It's
I
a
think
nice,
it fits
yeah,
her
it's
really well.
nice.
We
It does
love
fit you.
And we love you.
Yay! This, as you know, is Nevaeh. She was really eager to change her name.
Yes. So her name before was Serenity, which also, again, is beautiful. I love that. But she really wanted to be called Abigail. I don't know where she got the name. Do you remember where
I
you
don't
got
even know where she
Abigail?
got that. I don't think we know.
I don't think she knows.
But
It's
she
been a long
was
time.
so insistent. I mean, you couldn't call her Serenity. She was like, I'm Abigail.
Yeah.
So-
So she was in that for a while, and then she changed to Paige all of a sudden. So then she'd get mad if we called her Abigail, and it had to be Paige. So at the very end, we decided to call her Nevaeh, and we did keep the Paige. So that is her middle name. We got Nevaeh from the very first placement that we had. We got a little 2-year-old, and she was so cute, and her name was Nevaeh, and I fell in love with the name.
Yeah.
So Nevaeh Paige is her name.
This is Braxton. His name was
Caden.
Another one of the Aiden names. So, but he kind of struggled a little bit picking a new name. He really wanted one, but he just couldn't pick.
Yeah, so he decided to let his family choose his name. So we all got together and put names actually in a bowl, and then we read them out loud, and then we kind of narrowed it down until we voted for Braxton.
Yeah.
So we felt like it fit him so well, and we love the name. So Braxton
You love it?
is.
Yeah.
This is Kaysen. When he came to us, his name was Paul. And when it came time to adopt him, we talked about changing his name, and he wanted to. We went through, I don't even know how many different names. And one day our girls were all looking on the computer to find names, and they came across the name Kaysen. And they told us about it, and we thought it was perfect. It fit him so well, and he loves it.
Yep.
So.
This is Addison.
Yeah.
Her name was originally Gianna, and she definitely wanted to change her name. And she was one of the 2 first kids that decided to steal the name
They
from
did.
a friend. So you stole it from one of your classmates named Addison, right?
Yeah.
But we do love Addison. It fits her perfectly.
What made you decide that name?
I just liked the name Addison, and I thought it was pretty. It was a pretty name.
It's a pretty name.
I'm Aubrey!
Wow.
This is Aubrey.
This
She's our
is
little firecracker.
Aubrey. So tell us, what was your name before?
Nevaeh.
Nevaeh, which is heaven backwards.
Yes.
And what made you change your name to Aubrey?
My best friend's name was Aubrey.
I think
so
she was the original thief.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a beautiful name. We do love the name Aubrey. And your middle name is?
Layla.
Layla.
Hi, my name is Harlan. My old name used to be Aiden.
Aiden,
Yes.
which was so hard at the time because we had a Caden, a Hayden, a Jaden, and an Aiden.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine calling someone's name in the house was like
You just
everybody
did all
would
of
come
them.
running. So
Yeah, that
it
was
was
nuts.
hard, but he couldn't decide on his name. We went through names after name and just none
For a
of them
long
for a
time.
long time stuck. And so we finally reached out to our viewers, and they sent in like hundreds, if not thousands of names for him to choose from. And he sat at the computer one day and just went through like all of them until he came across Harlan.
It's like,
That's
that's
the
it,
one.
right there. That's
And we
mine.
loved it too, so we thought it was perfect, and so Harlan it is.
So next is Spencer. So Spencer actually kept his first name, his old name, as his middle name, which is James.
James was his old name,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So why did you pick Spencer?
Well, I read it in a book, and that character in the book was really brave, and I really liked that name. It just struck me to the heart, you know what I'm saying?
Struck you to the heart.
Right to the heart.
So Spencer it is, and James is again was his old name, and he kept it as his middle name.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So our next kid.
Hi, my name's Easton, and my old name was like, you know, Easton. But
This is Lacey's boyfriend. We did
It's
not
a good
adopt.
thing that we didn't adopt him.
Yeah. Then you would be able to date Lacey.
That's true.
that's true. That'll be terrible. I don't know what I'll be without
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Love you guys.
Love
you. Okay, so next up is Landon. Landon was not adopted, so he is our
He had
biological
no choice.
son. He had no choice. Hopefully he likes his name. Do you like it?
Yeah.
So quick story about Landon, and I think I may have told
He
you
was
before,
like
but
4 years old.
he was little when we first started getting foster kids. Like he was in diapers.
2 or
actually.
3.
He was little, but around 4 years old, we had lost like 2 or 3 kids to grandma.
All to grandma's.
So he reached over one day at church and whispered in my ear and said, "When am I gonna go live with my grandma?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Do you think you're a foster kid?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a foster kid, right?" So we didn't realize that probably for years Landon thought he was a foster kid, but he's not. So do you like your name though that we chose for you?
Yeah.
Your middle name too?
Middle name too. So his middle name is Cage. We did not name him that. His older sister Kylie got to name his middle name,
Yep.
and she picked Cage.
And it's cool.
And it
I
is
like
cool.
it.
It's a cool name.
Alright, this is my man Mason. His name was originally Chance.
Yep.
So
Which we love the name Chance.
Yeah.
That's a really good name too. However, when we were trying to think of Braxton's name and we were coming up with all these different names, we had said Mason for Braxton. And when he heard Mason, he's like, "Nope, that's mine.
he can't have that name. It's mine.
It's mine."
Nope, I like that
And
one.
so from that moment on, we called him Mason.
Mason.
I originally was thinking maybe it was because there was like little jars all over. We had just decorated all these mason jars, and so his name was everywhere. But it
Nope,
wasn't.
he just liked the name.
He just liked the name.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and my old name was Hayden.
Hayden, which was
Yes.
part of the Caden.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hayden,
he
like-
was definitely part of it. Now he also is a name stealer, by the way. So Jacob is actually Cody's middle name.
Yeah.
And his middle name is actually my middle name.
So, well, he was gonna do Jacob Cody, because we have Cody Jacob.
True.
So, but he decided last second that he wanted to change it to Wesley,
so
which is his middle name.
Jacob
so.
Wesley, and I'm Jared Wesley. So.
Yeah. So, perfect.
So as you can see, our kids pretty much picked their own names.
Which we love. That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It gives them really a fresh start. I think when we originally started foster care, we thought we'd leave their names the same.
Yeah,
But
because
then
we
as
did find out in classes that you could
Yeah.
change their names, but that is not something that we wanted to do because we just felt like it's special that the parents gave them that name. But the lawyer was the one who gave them choices, and so as we went along, we thought, you know what, it's not too bad. It is a fresh start for them. So, for sure. So, and we think they picked great names.
Yes, absolutely they did.
They really did. So,
Anyway, that's everybody's names.
yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for watching today. Bye.